What is up, it's iCkEdMeL, and I have an update to this crazy story somebody posted last night in the live stream with some of the outcome of this. Now, I want to do a recap for the people that missed this story, and I think it's just wrong on so many levels, even besides the obvious. Now, let me show you a clip of the father, and then I'm going to take you back and give you kind of the synopsis of the story, and then we're going to get to the updates. Crazy, insane, insanity, but in this day and age, it's almost like the normal now. It's the norm.
I'm gonna miss him, man. I'm gonna miss him. It's a lot of questions, I have, and it may take time for the answers to come out, but I know God got something else for me, so.
God got something else for me. Isn't that crazy? I mean, just put it like, just imagine, right? Like your entire family. I mean, I probably don't want to imagine, but just try to like contextualize it. Just your entire family is wiped out one night. Kids, all dead.
Early Wednesday, fire crews responded to a house fire already engulfing the home of Robert and Wanedia Scales.
Got to the second floor where they found 4 victims.
Then we saw the dad pull up, and he was trying to tell the firefighters that, somebody was upstairs, or I guess his family was upstairs.
Now, on balloons at the home are the names of a mother and her 3 kids, all of them lost in the fire.
The mother's name was Wanedia. You have Xavier, Robert, and Elijah. The ages were 35, 15, 14, and 10.
35-year-old Wanedia Scales and her sons, 15-year-old Xavier Woleab, 14-year-old Robert Scales Jr., and 10-year-old Elijah Scales.
Now, it's reported that the fire started around 12:20, 12:30 a.m., and it was a 2-story home, and it started in the lower level with the family inside.
My neighbor actually called me and told me they seen the smoke and I came running.
It's reported that the firefighters carried the victims outside of the house to revive them. They were not breathing, had no pulses. The mother died at the scene, and her 3 sons were transported to local hospitals where they were pronounced dead upon arrival.
Firefighters pulled the victims from the burning home, but none could be saved.
Fox 17 spoke to husband Robert Scales Thursday night in front of the family home.
Nothing that I ever could see coming.
Oh, baby!
Loved ones have stood in support of Robert and his family.
And somebody commented something that was so true and so interesting. This actually happens in a lot of crime. Tell me if you guys have ever heard of this. A lot of times these people are sick. They'll return back to the scene of the crime. I mean, I guess he didn't have a choice if he was called, but a lot of times murderers, they'll come back to the scene of the crime. They want to see what's going on. They'll even go to the funeral. They'll go to the gatherings. They'll set up they'll help you on the search. They'll be out there searching with you for a missing person, knowing that they're the ones that did it. He said, God got something for me. And a lot of people are saying that was kind of a strange way to say things. I don't know what that means. It is kind of strange.
I have, and it may take time for the answers to come out, but I know God got something else for me, so.
So we're still recapping, and this is from February 2020. I wanted to show you a clip too from the neighbors that you might have seen in the previous video, and then we're going to show you an interesting past that this woman, this wife, this mother was in fear for her life and her kids.
I was one of the first ones to see the fire, and my grandson tried to go. We kept banging and banging on the doors and stuff, and we couldn't hear anybody. And then my grandson kicked in the door.
She runs outside, I run outside, and then we see the whole back half engulfed in flames. I bang on the windows, hear no answer. I kick in the front door and get halfway up the stairs, but the smoke and stuff was too much, and everybody was screaming for me to get out, and the fire department came shortly after. And
after that, we didn't see the kids. We didn't hear anything or anything, so.
As a father myself, I can't imagine losing my 2 children, other alone. He lost his house, his family, everything. So,
one family member living out of state reached out to Fox 17 with serious concerns. Court documents filed by Wanedia in September 2019, just months before the fire, show she was scared of what her husband was capable of. In a requested personal protection order, she says Robert had, quote, vandalized property and has threatened to burn the house down with me in it.
How crazy is that? Right? Defendant vandalized property and has threatened to burn the house down. and now the house is burnt. Is this a coincidence? No way. Hell no. Right? Um, he has also threatened me in front of his children. Despicable, if it's true. Well, it's probably true since given the circumstances. That if I try and stop him from damaging the home, my face was going to be next. Then he took his pointer finger in front of the kids and shoved my face. I am greatly afraid. How horrible is this too, right? That you can make a report like this and it doesn't get taken seriously, apparently, right? That you could be going through something and nothing happens. I'm greatly afraid for my life. He has stopped taking his prescribed medication. I don't know what I will do. So this guy allegedly had on some medication. The guy threatens to burn the house and looks like now he followed through with it.
Telling the court, I'm begging you. I'm scared for my life. I don't know what else to do. I need help, please. Wanedia had also filed for divorce. Both that and the request for a PPO were eventually dismissed. But a few loved ones are still worried that something horrible happened inside the home.
So here we are to some of the updates of this story, and I have a little bit of commentary after. But the father's charged in the death. He was supposedly using a fire pit that was next to the house. Details of the fire contained in a probable cause affidavit filed by police to obtain charges in an involuntary manslaughter, which who knows could be upgraded because I don't believe that this was just some random accident. He was charged with the 4 counts of death, including his wife and the kids. The investigators found a mattress between a fire pit and the house. The pit was just 6 feet from the side of the house and 8 feet from the detached garage. Police interviewed Scales and he admitted to starting a fire pit in the late afternoon hours, February 4th, 2020. A witness told investigators that Scales was still at the fire pit about 7 p.m. Another witness, a man who jointly ran a junk hauling operation with Robert Scales, told police that he was with Scales in the earlier evening hours, February 4th, and he was burning leaves, mattress, which is it. The business partner told detectives that when he left, also about 7 p.m., there was no mattress in the fire pit, so we have a difference of stories. The partner told detectives that it was common for Scales to have fires in the pit and burn materials from the junk hauling business. According to his statement, the business partner recalled telling Scales that he needed to get a bigger pit and also move away from the house. Personal protective order was denied by the judge in this situation because the judge believed that she was using this just to get the house for herself. You guys comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I think most people knew something was wrong with this guy, but at the same time, this guy had a lot of support. I wonder if he was feeding off of that energy. Some people like that whole people coming to them and sympathizing and hugging them and supporting them, and maybe he got the attention that he never really had before and everybody felt sorry for this guy, and now maybe this guy was ready to start a new life. And I'm sure there's a lot that we don't know. We're only seeing the very, very bare surface. And these situations are really complicated. I've heard of a lot of people's stories and life experiences. And I think of mine too, with relationships and once kids are involved, how complicated things can get. And it's always the best scenario to just leave, but it's always not that easy. And she was clearly reaching out for help. A couple months back, she was trying to leave. She had that whole order, protective order, restraining order that she was trying to get. And apparently the judge didn't take her seriously. The guy she literally said he was threatening to burn the place down. And then now the place burns down. Like, you know what I'm saying? 1 + 1. I guess I'll end off on this. Watch the people around you. Observe the people that you keep around you that are close and know personal stuff. Especially the people that you get yourself into a relationship with. You know, I have a habit too of like rushing things when you first meet somebody. You know, the high, it's exhilarating, and you really don't know people. Your friends, your family, watch these people because these are the people that are most likely to kill you. I've said it multiple times. Yeah, comment down below. Take care of yourselves. Peace.